What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, taking a look at XL Pelipper in the Open Ultra League. Guys, Pelipper is one of the big winners of the Wing Attack update. It is now ranked the 32nd best pick for the Open Ultra League on pvpoke.com, and it has a 60% win rate against the meta in the one shields, which is really phenomenal. I had a ton of success with this team as well. I played 4 sets with it, and all 4 of them were positive. 2 of them were 4-1s, and 2 of them were 3-2s. So you can see the climbs that I had from it down below. Now, I think I was probably a little bit lower than I should have been to start the day. I was playing some Spice and Great League before the league shifted over, so that could account for a little bit of it. But overall, I mean, the team felt really solid. Pelipper felt really solid. Pelipper does pick up 2 more matchups. If you best buddy it, by the way, it can pick up Umbreon and Cresselia in the one shield, so then it's even above 60%. I would say like 65% or somewhere. I don't know how many Pokemon are considered meta, but regardless, yeah, I mean, it's worth the investment if you have the Hundo or the 15-15-14, because the 15-15-14 is a functional Hundo. At level 50, at 51, it is not a functional Hundo, so just be aware. Though it does still pick up the same amount of wins, just not as strong. Anyways, let's jump on into some of these battles. I'm playing some weird stuff right here. I'm letting them take out my Trevenant because I didn't want their Talonflame to come in and get a farm down. So that was on purpose. I'm going to come in with Registeel, get the lock on down, but they do hard swap out into Talonflame. We're going to be going for the Zap Cannon here. This should be grabbing the first shield. We're both down to like 1 Pokemon, and neither of us have used a shield at this point. I can come in with Pelipper now. Got a little bit of energy. Gonna go ahead and throw the first Weather Ball. Of course, the Weather Ball doesn't hit super hard, but it is super effective, so it does put them into the red. So I can go ahead and throw up a shield here. They're at 100 energy. I know this is only a flame charge. However, I also don't think they're going to be able to get 3 more Incinerates through before I Wing Attack down. So I go ahead and just use my shield. And let's see. There's 2 Incinerates. Here comes the 3rd. They're not going to get it, right? At this point, they have Giratina, very low. We have back-to-back Weather Balls. We'll go ahead and just spam them out. Here's the first one. It should grab the shield, but they actually let it go. And down goes Virizion as well. GG's. Well played to my opponent. All right, jumping into the next battle. Pelipper into a Shadow Drapion. So this is a neutral matchup. They are going to be swapping out into Samurott. Now, Samurott can either have Mega Horn or Blizzard as its nuke move. We're going to go ahead and find out what it is right here. It is probably going to be Mega Horn. Otherwise, they wouldn't have baited with the Hydro Cannon. So at that point, I feel comfortable bringing in my Trevenant. Mega Horn, of course, will be hitting for neutral, but it's not going to one-shot, and this means Trevenant can avoid that Shadow Drapion, at least for most of its life. So we're going to go for the Seed Bomb here. Seed Bombs are going to be taking out the Samurott. Of course, the Shadow Drapion should be coming in here. We have some loaded energy on Trevenant. And we're not really in Poison Sting downrange, so they should have to throw some energy at some point here. Otherwise, they're going to have to eat 2 Shadow Balls. And you're going to see the Shadow Ball, even though it's resisted, it does do some nice damage. So 2 of them would put them into the red. Come in and snipe with an XL Galvantula. And at this point, I'm like, oh, shoot. What do I do? This is an electric type that I'm not prepared for. Registeel doesn't really want to see this. And I guess I could say the same for Ampharos, because Ampharos can Focus Blast or Registeel. But I come in with my Registeel anyways. They lunge bait me, as Galvantulas love to do. And we're going to be going for the Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon resisted. Focus Blast also resisted. So we might as well go for the one that has the chance to drop their attack. And we do get the attack. Oh, beautiful. We're going to go ahead and no-shield the second one. It's another lunge bait. They did not learn their lesson the first time. Beautiful. We're going to be building up, going for the next Zap Cannon. They're going to be throwing here. And I know I'll still survive a discharge. I figure if I can get a second shield with the Zap Cannon and then come in with Pelipper, we're set. I actually get aggressive. I come in with Pelipper. I go straight for the Hurricane, expecting no shield. They catch it on Drapion. Great catch by my opponent. However, Pelipper is just too scary now. We're going to be able to get this Weather Ball off now. It's not going to be lethal, but it does put them into the red. We get a couple more wing attacks. And at this point, we're just going to lock on down this Galvantula. They can throw lunges. It doesn't matter. Lock-ons are always going to do 1 damage. You can't do 0 damage in this game. So 1 damage at a time. We're just going to take them down. GG's. 2 shields still out there. But well played regardless. All right, into the next one. Up against an Obstagoon lead. Oh, I did find that Pelipper was a pretty good core breaker for several teams, and you could see they're staying in here. Telling me they probably either have something like a Swampert or maybe a Talonflame in the back. I'm not 100% sure what it is at this point. I do go ahead and go for the Weather Ball here. Reason being is I don't want them to shield up the Hurricane and then I end up having to invest shields myself just to get switch here. Weather Ball should be fine, right? A Hurricane's going to do it quicker, but Weather Ball spam will handle it. We're going to throw the next Weather Ball here. Again, no reason to throw the Hurricane. Then we'll just throw one more. This will take them out. Or if they want a shield, then yeah, I can just match shields and I can probably farm them down, to be honest. They do decide to let it go. Out comes Tapu Fini. I'm going to pivot into my Registeel, and there it is. There's the Talonflame, the other thing that doesn't want to see Pelipper. But Registeel can actually threaten shields here as well, as we've already seen, because we have Zap Cannon. So Zap Cannon is going to be grabbing the first shield. We do get the attack drop, very nice. And now they're going to be throwing the Flame Charge here. Definitely to be able to tank one. I'm not sure that I'll be able to tank this second one and get to the Zap Cannon. If I do go ahead and throw up a shield, I figure if I can get them shields down, Pelipper can come in and handle this Talonflame. So I am going to be throwing this next Zap Cannon here. And yeah, of course, they're going to throw up the shield. Of course they are. They're going to get the Incinerate down, which they do have a ton of energy. And they're not really in single Weather Ball range, so it's a little bit sticky still. They're not at back-to-back Flame Charge. So I can go ahead and shoot up this first one. And then they swap out into Tapu Fini. I'm like, okay, maybe we have a win con here. I cannot give the Talonflame an extra Incinerate, because if I do, they're going to be at the Flame Charge. So I can't KO this thing unless I have a Shadow Ball ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this first Seed Bomb. I know it's not going to be lethal. And then I'm going to actually let this Tapu Fini farm me down. Because again, back-to-back Seed Bombs isn't going to help me. We need the farm down with Pelipper. We're going to go ahead and let the Surf come through. Perfectly fine. Coming in with Pelipper, we get the farm down. We are almost at the Hurricane. We do 2 more wing attacks. And I throw the Weather Ball. And as soon as I clicked it, I'm like, no! Because they're going to win CMP. And my Pelipper is not going to be able to throw that second Weather Ball. They're going to take the game. So if I were just on the Hurricane, we win that. Just be better than me and you win that. Into the next one. Up against a Empoleon. Very interesting pick. Not necessarily something Pelipper wants to see, since they can't hit us for neutral with their charge moves and we can only hit them for resisted. So I swap out into Registeel. They come in with a Obstruct Obstagoon. And look, I've talked a lot of smack about Obstruct Obstagoons. This season, I have started seeing people use them better. I'm not convinced that Obstruct's the way, but I have had some Obstagoons with Obstruct giving me trouble for the first time. Last season, I feel like every time I saw Obstruct, people just wanted to spam it out and it wasn't doing any damage. And I was like, okay, cool. It was just easy wins. This season, man, they're actually giving me a little bit of trouble. Now, this one, they do end up throwing a Night Slash here. I think they could have got the farm down. Guess they didn't want to risk giving up their second shield. Perfectly fine by me. We're going to get the farm down here. Out comes the Empoleon, and we are just hard countered through and through. Going to be a Crobat in the back. However, we're going to be able to throw the Shadow Ball. It's going to connect. Beautiful. Puts them into the yellow. And at this point, I can go ahead and just tank this Poison Fang. Poison Fang, not going to be lethal. We're still going to be able to make it to the Seed Bomb. And even though this Seed Bomb is double resisted, it's going to take out this bat. And I wanted to make sure that I took them out and got as many Shadow Claws in as possible. Look, we just get 2, I think, maybe 3. That's going to be huge here. I can go ahead and safely shield this up. Nobody runs Blizzard nowadays. But if they did throw Hydro Cannon, if they baited with Hydro Cannon the first time, then like, yeah, I can make the bait call the second time. But it was Drill Pick, so no big deal. Going to be landing the Hurricane at this point, thanks to those just a couple Shadow Claws. They're looking like they might be in Weather Ball range. So I'm going to be making sure that we throw a good timing. Throw in the first Weather Ball right here. I should be able to do one more wing attack just to make sure we're getting all that wing attack damage in and throw the next Weather Ball. And yes, this will be lethal from this range, and that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Let's go. So a little bit hard counter team. I don't know, man. Maybe Empoleon's not the hardest counter for Pelipper, but it's definitely not a positive. Now, here we do see a positive matchup. You see a Toxicroak. They're swapping out into a Lapras. And we got a hard punish with Registeel. So, Registeel comes in. We're going to be able to tank Surfs for days. I mean, come on. I'm going to go for the Zap Cannon immediately. It's not going to be lethal, right? Because of Lapras is very bulky. Puts them into the yellow, and it does get the attack drop. Still not in lock on down range by any means. I mean, I could, but that's super aggressive. I'm going to go ahead and eat this next Surf. And I will be throwing the next Focus Blast. I throw it immediately. Probably could have overfarmed to stall my switch clock a little bit. Because what you're going to see is I'm going to be trying to pivot out into my Pelipper. You get quite a few counters in for free. But I do get out into Pelipper. Now they're at the Sludge Bomb. I know I can tank it. And I'm expecting a Wall Rain in the back. Alright, it just makes sense. But it's actually going to be an Abomasnow. So different ice type. I was reading it right. That Registeel would be helpful. I just read the wrong ice type. That's perfectly fine. We're going to be able to bait with the Weather Ball, grab the first shield, build up our Pelipper, and we should be able to outpace to this next Hurricane. Beautiful. Do get there. This should be grabbing the second shield, or it's going to one-shot this Shadow Abomasnow. Either one's fine with me. We grab the shield. At this point, Registeel can come in. We can definitely survive a Weather Ball. They do build up to the Energy Ball, and I will respect it. Because all we gotta do is get to a Focus Blast, and we should be able to win this. Here's the Focus Blast. As long as they didn't catch it on Toxicroak, right? That would be our lose con. Focus Blast takes out the Abomasnow. In comes the Trevenant. Toxicroak does not want anything to do with this Trevenant, especially since they just dumped all their energy. They are going to be able to get off one Sludge Bomb here. Trevenant's going to take it like a boss. No big deal. Shadow Ball's going to come through. Take out the Toxicroak. That's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Let's go. Jumping into the next battle up against Howard. Pelipper into Pelipper. So we got the mirror match going here. Very cool to see, actually. Really cool to see. They have theirs best buddied, so I know I'm not going to win CMP, so I'm going to go for the catch instead. Hoping that they threw the Hurricane here. That way I wasted all their energy. Bait. Great bait by my opponent. We're going to come out with the Shadow Machamp. Now, I think they make a little bit of a misplay here. As they CMP time me on the Zap Cannon, I think they should have just gone for the farm down. Because I'm not going to make it to 2 moves if they just go for the counter down. And then they leave with their Machamp at like 100 energy. Rock Slide is going to be threatening my Pelipper. Or even my Trevenant doesn't want to see a complete loaded Machamp. Which I am going to come in with my Trevenant here to get the farm down. I figured if they reach a Rock Slide, Trevenant can handle it a lot better. Plus, if I have energy, my Trevenant can threaten their Pelipper. Pelipper comes back in. I'm going to be going straight for the Shadow Ball here. And this does, I believe, 57%. I did look it up. So they do throw up a shield. I'm going to go for the combo play. Going for the Hurricane here. Either they give up both shields, give me 2 shield advantage, or they let their Pelipper go down, and they do give up their second shield. So, this is a pretty obvious bait, but at this point, I felt like I was in such an advantageous position that I can just shield both of these. Not a lot wants to see either a Hurricane or Weather Ball spam from my Pelipper plus Trevenant. And they come out with the Clefable. So they double baited me, by the way. Double baited me. And they did some extra wing attacks. And at that point, I'm like, shoot, I messed up. I messed up because they're already close to their next Hurricane. I need to get ahead on energy with Trevenant. So I undercharged there. But I end up 1 Shadow Claw. 1 Shadow Claw short of the Seed Bomb. And they make it to the Hurricane. I throw the Weather Ball here just to see how much it would do. Of course, it's not going to take out. It's resisted. But GG's well played. Really well played by my opponent. I had to include that one just because, like, bait game on point there. They read me like a book. Well played. All right, Deoxys. So, pretty big core breaker here. My Trevenant would love to see this Deoxys. However, the counters are going to be doing super effective onto Registeel. And Thunderbolt would probably one-shot our Pelipper. So I do try to catch the Thunderbolt here on Registeel. They don't throw, and then they end up throwing. And they throw a Psycho Boost, which is strange. I think they just wanted to get some damage so that their Goon could handle my Registeel before I got to 2 Focus Blasts. But since they stayed in so long with DD, I'm still going to make it to 2 Focus Blasts. So Not really a great play by my opponent. But I mean, you know, meta just came out when I played these battles, so I think I understand. I make misplays all the time. We're gonna make it to the next Focus Blast here. So we grab the second shield off the Goon, and we're gonna come in with our Pelipper at this point. Team's working as we wanted to, right? The purpose of having Registeel is to bait out the Dark Fighter, whether that be Goon or Scrafty. That's the whole reason that I have Registeel there. That way Trevenant can just go to town in the back, or the fire type, right? Yeah, also they're to bait out fire types. So team, like it worked exactly as I designed it. I don't think there was ever a time where Trevenant was just hard walled by things that Registeel should have baited out. So yeah, it's beautiful. Except for this one, Shadow Lax. But Pelipper putting in a ton of work, gets off another Hurricane here, potentially putting the Shadow Lax into Seed Bomb range. Absolutely huge. Body Slam comes through. We don't got to worry about any charge move from this Lax. We do end up throwing on CMP. It's not really because I was playing to CMP. I just didn't want to take any more licks. I wanted to go over enough that I knew I could outpace the Goon if the Goon came back in. And I didn't want to take any more lick damage. So in comes Deoxys. Deoxys did have some stored energy. And I do have to respect the Psycho Boost here. Psycho Boost does come through. Go for the catch on the Shadow Ball, but I wasn't throwing yet. In comes Goon. We're going to get off the Seed Bomb. I was kind of kicking myself because I could have done one more Shadow Claw. However, Deoxys comes back in, and we're going to be able to outpace through the Shadow Ball. GG's. Well played to my opponent. Definitely a tricky lead and a tricky backline. Excuse me. But able to make it work. That's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much to my channel members for your support. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.